When Congress defunded public media, thousands of you stepped up, increasing your monthly gift to help us survive year one without federal funding. We made it, but that loss isn't going away. So if you haven't increased your monthly contribution yet, now's the time. And if you're not a sustaining member, join us. A monthly gift to Boise State Public Radio gives us the steady, reliable support we need for year two and beyond. Choose the support tab at boisestatepublicradio.org.
It's the Connector Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Troy Oppie. Here are today's headlines for Friday, July 17th. Environmental advocacy group the Sierra Club is celebrating a proposal for community solar that's advanced in the city of Boise's budget. Pro-women's soccer coming to Boise will be delayed about 6 months. And several hundred water customers in McCall are in danger of having their service turned off. First this morning, a fire update. The Federal Wildfire Service says crews successfully squashed multiple lightning-caused wildfires late yesterday, the two biggest sparking on Bureau of Land Management land in southern Ada County. Air and ground crews responded to 4 total fires. The largest was the Baja at more than 80 acres. It was contained late last night with full control expected this evening. In the Boise foothills, controlled burns continue to be used to help contain the Claremont fire, along with man-made primary and secondary containment lines. The fire is continuing to consume pockets of previously unburned thick brush and large trees within its current perimeter. Existing road and lands closures are in place in the foothills near the fire through August 1st. A change in water utility billing is being blamed for around 200 delinquent residential and business accounts in McCall, which are now in danger of being shut off for non-payment. The McCall Star News reports the city switched billing systems in March, but auto-pay settings did not transfer to the new billing system. The city spokesperson says they've been trying to reach as many delinquent customers as possible, in some cases for months. Late payment fees were waived until this week. Door hangers will be posted on affected properties in the coming days. Water shutoffs for accounts that continue to be behind on payments could start July 27th, according to the Star News. Athletic Club Boise announced it's delaying the launch of its women's club, previously planned for the fall next year. The delay comes after the Gainbridge Women's Super League shifted its playing schedule to spring and fall starting next year. In a statement, AC Boise ownership said the move was good for the league, but it created too short a timeline to get the women's club here up and running by next spring. Waiting to launch until the spring of 2028 will give the organization the time it needs to build the team it wants and complete facilities and sponsorship work it needs to host a Tier 1 club. The club says it's including supporters in its planning for women's pro soccer with a series of community conversations, the first one coming up August 6th. Registration is required for those. They are free. The club website is acboise.com. The men, meanwhile, are back in action this evening, hosting Portland Hearts of Pine at 7:30 at AC Boise Stadium at Expo, Idaho. Communities across the region can expect temperatures to hit or surpass 100 degrees again today. As our George Prentice reports, the heat will keep coming through this weekend and into next week.
Boise, Mountain Home, and Idaho Falls have all topped 100 degrees this month. Twin Falls hit 98. The month is barely half over, and it has already become Idaho's 12th hottest July on record.
We're kind of baking under that high pressure. That is increasing our temperatures back to above 100 degrees.
This is meteorologist Dave Greinert at the National Weather Service office. He says we can also expect that intense heat to stir up unstable air, which will likely trigger thunderstorm microbursts.
Get the heating during the day, and then you have that moisture combination of the two. You get some afternoon thunderstorm. Either way, it's going to be hot right through next week, and certainly around 100.
For now, the 3 S's might be advised: shade, sunscreen, and stay frosty. George Prentice, Boise State Public Radio News.
Environmental advocacy group the Sierra Club is celebrating the inclusion of funding for community solar in Boise's proposed budget for the next fiscal year. In a news release this week, the club says it's been advocating for 2 years for such a project, which takes utility savings from having solar panels on city buildings and funds public assistance programs for utility payments. The Boise City Council this week advanced a proposed budget that includes $50,000 for a pilot version of the community solar program. Getting an initial investment underway by next year allows the city to qualify for special federal rebates available for municipal solar. That's a program, though, which expires at the end of 2027. Boise's upcoming fiscal year budget will be considered for a final vote next month. The Bureau of Land Management says it rounded up 103 wild horses from the Sailor Creek herd management area south of Glens Ferry. Captured wild horses are brought to the Boise Wild Horse Off-Range Corrals in Kuna, evaluated by a veterinarian, and then prepped for BLM's wild horse and burro sale and adoption program. That herd reportedly dates to the early 1960s, when horse runners brought mares from the Chalice area into the open areas of Owyhee and Elmore counties, turned them out with a stud, and then would capture the colts each spring. A rabid bat was found this week in Blaine County. The exact location was not shared by the local health department. Health officials say most bats do not carry the disease, but those that do can spread the infection to domestic pets, and horses, dogs, and cats should be vaccinated to prevent against rabies. Quick medical treatment after potential bat exposure is also important. Left untreated, rabies can be fatal in pets and humans. It's the first confirmed rabid bat in South Central Idaho's health district this year. The coach who led Boise State football onto blue turf for the very first time in 1986 has died. Boise State Athletics announced Lyle Satencic died June 23rd. He took over at Boise State in 1983, succeeding Jim Kreiner, compiling a 24-20 record in 4 seasons, the 9th most wins in school history. He resigned after that first season on the blue turf in 1986 and would go on to coach 7 years at Division II Cal Poly, with stops later as an assistant at Pacific, Arizona State, and Cal before retiring from Texas Tech as its defensive coordinator in 2007. He was 81. Severely degraded air quality is happening across the eastern United States and the upper Midwest due to wildfires burning in Canada. But wildfire smoke and summer heat is contributing to concerns about air quality in the Mountain West region as well. Here's Yvette Fernandez with more.
The extreme heat is accelerating chemical reactions that produce harmful ozone, a problem for many major metro areas. And with particulate matter from wildfires, the combination increases health concerns. Jody Bechtel, an air quality specialist with Clark County, Nevada's Department of Environment and Sustainability, says a season-long advisory for ozone and smoke is in place, as hot, stagnant air can contribute to air quality problems.
The more stagnant it is, the more the pollutants just build up because there's no way for that pollutant to disperse into the atmosphere and no wind to kind of blow it out.
According to Air Now, the federal government site that tracks air quality, large swaths of Mountain West states are blanketed by moderate risk wildfire smoke, with a few regions considered worse, unhealthy for sensitive groups such as those with chronic lung conditions. Yvette Fernandez, the Mountain West News Bureau.
That's your connector for this Friday. As you heard George Prentice explain, we expect some hot temperatures, so stay safe, stay cool, and I'll catch you back here again on Monday. Make it a great weekend.
Each story you hear on Planet Money starts with a question. What happens if we refund tariffs? Why are groceries so expensive? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious because the forces shaping our world can be hard to see. Follow NPR's Planet Money wherever you get your podcasts and start seeing how the economy really works.